Hi, and welcome to SaveTrees online timesheets. My name is James, I'm one of the co-founders, and in this video I'm going to give you a very quick overview of the system so that you can see what it's like to add a contractor and what it's like for the contractor to receive the invite, sign up, submit their first timesheet, and then we'll go back into the admin view, have a look at those timesheets, and I'll show you a couple of other bits and pieces along the way. It is going to be brief, we're just going to skip over a few bits. So if you want to see it in more detail, then click a link somewhere around this video. There'll be a book a demo link. And what you can do is book in and we will look at the system from the perspective of a contractor and then an authorizer. And then as you, the admin, and we'll brand it up as if it's your own agency and you'll see it in a real world scenario as close to your setup as it would be. For now though, let's log in. So let's jump over here to the login page. As you can see, it's all branded up to the look of this company that I've made up, Recruitment. So we'll log in here. Not only do we apply this branding to the login page, you'll see here it's applied to the dashboard, but it's also applied to the system generated emails that go out to your contractors, line managers at your clients, etc., etc. We really do apply that branding everywhere that we can, so that it makes the best impression of your agency to the people who deal with you. So let's jump over to the timesheets here. Just to view the overall timesheets, there are 4 here, 2 have been accepted. You can submit timesheets on behalf of contractors if you wish. You can also authorize them. You can see those here. But before we go into what a detailed view looks like, let's go and add a contractor. Doing this is really simple. Basically, everything hangs off a contract, and all we require for that is who is the company. If they're not already on your client list, you can just add a new one. It's just a name that's required there. And then that populates that. We give the contract a name. That could be the contractor's name. If you're setting them up on a one-to-one basis, one contract to one contractor. But if you've got multiple contractors going on each contract, then you might call it a job title, you might call it a department name, or maybe even a geographical location. It's really whatever works for you and your agency. So we give that a name and then we click Create Contract. That creates it and it takes you into the detail view. So here's one I made earlier, as they say. So there's the contract detail. And I've already added Holly and Tim to this contract, but let's say we want to add another contractor. So first off, we look and see if they're in a list. If they're not, we can just add them on the fly, and all we need is a full name and email address. So it's really quick to add them. You click Add User, but we've already got this user in the system. So it's going to be Connie on this contract. And the primary authorizer is Sunny, because Sunny is already authorizing for Holly and Tim. So the system kind of guesses that to save you a little bit of time. If you wanted to change it though, you could change it to anyone else. And again, you can add a new user if they're not already in. You can add other authorizers as well if you want someone else to be able to accept if Sunny's away, for example. You can also make this primary authorizer yourself if needs be for whatever reason. Then you put in a start date. So let's say they started on Wednesday, the 4th of January, and you can change anything else. So this person is by default on a day rate, but if you wanted to make it hourly, you can do. You do set this up at a contract level, and then it filters down every time you add a contractor. But if one particular contractor is on hourly instead of daily, then you can just change it for each as you go. You can also make it a monthly timesheet instead of weekly or whatever works for you. And then you can add in a payroll number if you have one or not. The basics of this are all that's required is who's the contractor, who's going to authorize it, and what's the start date. Also, if you have an end date, you can put that in. Otherwise, it's just considered ongoing. So we click Invite Users, and then an invite will go out from the system. And we'll have a look at that now. So what this email looks like is this. Dear Connie Fur, James Warwick has invited you to start submitting timesheets for the admin team contract with IT Co Limited through the Recruitment timesheet system. complete your sign up, please click below to set your password and log into the system. So let's do that. We'll do it incognito, so we don't need to log out of the other browser. We'll just put a password in here, accept the terms, set the password, and then it takes you straight into the dashboard. May click submit my first timesheet. So it's all really intuitive and straightforward. Now let's set the first week. You can see we can't go back to December here because they didn't start until the 4th. So let's select the 2nd. And because they didn't start until the 4th, we've hidden the Monday and Tuesday. That's to prevent any erroneous data from being entered. This contractor was set up to be on a day rate, so it's done in quarter days. So let's say they did a half day on a Saturday and took the Friday off for whatever reason. They could put a note in as to why they took that time off, and then they send that for authorization. Let's add another timesheet for the following week. There we go. And it's Monday to Sunday, as you'd expect. You can, by the way, change that so that it's week beginning on a Saturday or week ending on a Sunday. Whatever configuration you have, the system can cope with that. Send that for authorization. Now let's have a look at the timesheet detail. There you go. So that's what it looks like. We've got all of the details at the top, the actual hours or days worked in the middle, and the audit trail at the bottom. And by the way, when you submit a timesheet, it can be done either in day rates or hourly rates. Because you set up as the admin, this contractor to be on a day rate, they can see this sort of view. If it's an hourly rate, it would have a start time, end time, break time. So you can change that again on a per contractor basis. Now, if we go back to the admin view, here we go to the timesheets. There we go. So we've got Connie Furr's 2 timesheets there. We can download this as an Excel and it'll download everything in this view, and you can filter that however you want. And if you need to, for whatever reason, authorize a timesheet for someone else, just click accept. There you go. That's done. If you need to send a reminder to the line manager, just hover over that circular arrow, click that. There you go. The system has reminded their line manager that that timesheet needs accepting. So one last thing, I'll just show you what the branding looks like. If we go down here to settings, click on branding. And as you can see, you've got a rectangular logo and a square logo. So we apply this anywhere that we have room. So as you can see, if it's on a mobile device or you want to collapse a window, we use the square version. We also apply it to the favicon up here. We apply it to the login page, and these are applied to the emails as well and the PDFs. Here you can change the header color. I'll just open this up. And you can make this any color that you want under the sun, whatever works for your agency, down to the specific hex code. And the secondary main here is the left-hand menu, and it's applied in a few other parts of the system. I'll just refresh this because it looks pretty terrible right now. And it won't have saved. So there we go. We're back to it. And you can obviously change the text color that's on top of that primary and secondary color too. You also get given a unique URL for your agency, and you can apply this to your website. So if you say timesheets and you make that a link, then when someone clicks that, they go through to your branded system. So it's a nice, consistent branded feel to it, and it keeps everything very smart looking. So there you have it. That's the system. Very brief overview there. As I say, if you want more detail, if you like what you've seen, then book a demo. That'll probably be with myself, and I'll answer any questions as we go. Thank you.